it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet. How is everybody doing today? It is Monday, the 29th of July already. Oh my goodness. I want to welcome you to the yarn room. Thanks for joining me here. I'm taking my watch off because, it snags my crochet. So, welcome back to the yarn room. I know you guys like it when I film here, so I'm going to really make a big effort to film in here as much as possible. And I apologize that it's been a few days again since I made a video. I had planned on making a video and doing a camper crochet video, but I forgot my tripod. So there was nothing to hold the camera. So I had to put that off. So I have a few things to talk about today, mostly Boggy Creek related. I will go there. But first, I wanted to mention Olga. Her last name starts with a P, and I will drop the video in the description box below. I'm not going to attempt to say her last name. She has 150,000 subscribers. I'm sure you know her. She is a wonderful designer. She sells her patterns on Etsy and I think Ravelry. She does free tutorials. But English is not her first language, and she does her tutorials. She was doing them, I think, in English and trying to, translate. And even though I think her English is wonderful, but you watch the video, she says that's with a lot of work. Anyway, I guess she does most of her videos with just putting the, her tutorials with just putting what you're supposed to do, in type on the tutorial, which I kind of really like myself because I'm a good enough crocheter that I don't need people to tell me how to make the stitch or how to count across and all that. So if you're not a beginner crocheter, her tutorials are wonderful because it's faster for you. And then she sells her patterns on, like I said, and I guess she charges $5. But she's been being harassed a little bit, getting some nasty comments, I guess, over the pricing on her patterns. And somebody has said, don't buy the patterns, just watch the tutorials, which is wonderful, but she needs that money. So without going into all of her business or making this a thing, I just would really appreciate it if you go over there and show her some love. Just some happy, positive comments. She's a wonderful crocheter. And she's been at it for 10 years. And I would hate to see her close her channel over a few nasty comments. So I think we need to just pop over there and fill her up with a bunch of love and wonderful yarny happiness. So that to help her get out of her little slump of a few bad comments taking away from all the good things that she's done. So that's on a public service announcement, and thanks for listening to that. And please do follow through, watch her video, see where she's coming from, and give her some encouragement. Appreciated. So anyway, first I wanted to go over, what am I wearing? This is my rectangular cardie. I really didn't come up with a better name for it than that. I made it out of Caron Skinny Cakes. I think I used 3. Yep, I'm pretty sure I used 3. And I used a 5mm hook. And this is made out of the Modern Granny. And I have shown it before, but here, I'll back it up and show you again a little bit. The rectangular granny, like any other granny, you start in the middle. And you work your way around. So I'm going to take this off because I want to show you what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. So this is done in 3 panels. And so you start here in the middle with a chain of so much, and then you work around the chain. And it's done in a two row repeat. English is my first language. I just can't seem to make my mouth work properly. So anyway, it's done in a 2-row repeat. The first row is, well, after the chain, you work in every 4th stitch and you make a granny cluster. The next row is a row of, you work a single crochet in between the granny clusters, and then you chain 3 and single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. Do that all the way around. So it's very simple. Fiber Spider has a modern granny pattern. I don't know if it's rectangular or not. I think Bag O' Day has a rectangular pattern. So anyway, for blankets. So you take and you make the middle, the back, and then you make that to like your size. And then you'd like divide that in half and make the 2 front panels. Sew them together at the shoulder minus the neckline. And I sewed mine up the sides. Oh, and I'm going to show you the outside. I'll show you the inside. Okay, here we go. Come on, there we go. Okay, so I sewed mine up the sides using that same chain, you know, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet stitch. Did up the sides, leaving it from the armhole, leaving the armhole space. So from the shoulder, which was the first, you know, the front panel and the back panel, down to big enough for my arm space. And then I crocheted down until I decided this is where I want a pocket. And so I left a hole, and then I crocheted down to where I decided I wanted to leave a slit. So that attaches the pockets, or attaches the panels that way. Did that on the other side. Then I went around with a row of half double crochet just to stabilize so I could add the sleeve. And I started after the half double crochet, then I did the chain row, and then the modern granny, you know, then the granny, then the chain, then the granny, in a circle. When you get, you know, to the end, you just chain 1 and start the next row, just like you would if you were at the corners on, you know, on the regular modern granny. And I went around until the sleeve was all the way down as long as I wanted it. I was originally going to go with a 3/4 inch, you know, 3/4 sleeve like to here. I didn't like the look of it, so I brought the sleeve all the way down to my wrist. And then I did a half double crochet row as a border all the way around the sleeve, around the neckline. And then I made the pockets by same principle. I did, when I just did half double, well, this one I kind of sewed it together sideways, but it doesn't matter, it's in the pocket. So you just go around in a circle with half double crochets. I did half doubles because the stitch is small enough that stuff really isn't going to fall through that I'm going to put in there, which would be my hands or my pocket or my phone. I made the pocket long enough for my phone, and I had like this much yarn left over out of the 3 cakes. So somebody was, that's your tutorial. Somebody was asking how many I started with. So I started the original back chain of, I wrote it down. I started with I didn't write that down. Oh, Lordy B. So for the original chain, I started with 15 clusters and ended with 49. 49, I guess, all the way down. Then I did the 49, and it was 35, 36 across. So I did the 49 minus 18, which, oh, I needed 30, it was 36 rows across. So the first panel was 49 clusters down by 36 clusters across. So you take your original 49 minus the 18, which gives me 31. So I guess I needed 32 clusters to start the front panels because they're not going to be as big. as the front panels are smaller, you know, than the back panel. So that's what it was. Take the 49 minus the 18. So that's how many clusters you need. So I guess I must have started with, there's 4 stitches to a cluster. So 45, chain of 45. 4 stitches, no, 60. I guess I started with on the back an original chain of 60. And I chained on the front panel, I chained 92. I have that written down. I hope that that's the correct number. That's what I have. And I think so if there's 15 clusters that I started with, I might have chained about 60 for the original chain on the back panel. I did use 3 cakes. I did write that down. So at the end, when I tried it on and pinned it together and put it on, it wasn't, I wanted it bigger all the way around, not just like I could add rows at the bottom. I wanted it bigger all the way around. So I know I did like 2 more rows on the back and then corresponding rows on the front. And I can tell you what I can tell you for sure. And I wear like a 2X. It's a good size. But I think I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I should have done here. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So from the first row down, I have 18 rows. And it should be that way all the way around. 18 rows, you know, because you get the one center from that one up. I have 18 rows. And this is how big it is. And I love it. It was a lot of hit or miss on how to do it. But I probably changed 64 because you have to, you know, you do the first chain and then you start in the 4th one because you're going every 4. So you've got, yeah, probably 64 would have been the starting chain on the back. And I did write down that I started with 92 on the sides. Because it's not going to go around as many times since it's half. So I hope those are correct figures. So that's enough of that. I had promised that I would fill that in, and there you go. Once you get the, and you know, if you're close, like yours, you're gonna, you know, that's what I did, and then you just go around until it's the right size for you. And I did rip it out a couple of times and start over, but I'm wide, so versus long. I'm a short, wide woman. So the, you know, I couldn't make it where it would be too wide. I could hardly do that. So anyway, if you have any other questions, if you want to make it and you have more questions, feel free to email me. All right, so that takes care of that. Then I have, what did I do all week? Well, I have been working on a test pattern, which I thought I had 1 piece left to do to be able to put it together. And I did that this morning and then realized that I had more pieces to go because it is an amigurumi. It is for Anita from y.o.h Crochet, which stands for Yarn Over Hook. She is a wonderful, wonderful designer, and I always make all of her makes. I always test, and so far so good. I'm a little behind the other testers, so they've, I think, found all the mistakes, which were 2, you know, just like typos in her pattern. She's really, really good, and it is really, really cute. I can't wait to show you. It's almost done. I hopefully will finish it today, if not tomorrow. So I'm real excited about that. And then I've been working on granny squares. I did a lot of that all week because granny squares are pretty brainless. And I started watching the Olympics. And I'm sorry, I started sliding again on the YouTube videos because I've been watching the Olympics. I really love the skateboarding, which I watched this morning. But now I can't watch it anymore. It's gone. And I didn't finish, so I don't know the outcome or if it's even over, if they went to the finals. I didn't get to see any of that, and now it's gone off my TV. I don't have a DVR, so I couldn't, like, record. You know, record the things I wanted to see. So if I missed it, I missed it. I missed the synchronized swimming, which I want, or diving, which I would love to see. Are you guys watching the Olympics? And of course, I love the gymnastics, and Simone is doing so good. I'm so proud of her. And all of the girls. I didn't even know the one girl that won won the gold last time. She went through a real severe illness, and she made a wonderful comeback. Susie, you go, girl. You're amazing. It's an amazing story, very encouraging. So if you don't know her story, see if you can watch that on the Olympics. It's very interesting. So anyway, I've been doing granny squares while watching the Olympics. And when we were driving in the car and chatting while I was crocheting at the campground, they had a band come. So we took our golf cart, which everybody does. You pull your golf carts up, and we watched the band, and I crocheted granny squares until it got too dark and I couldn't see. I did bring my neck light, and I was going to crochet in the dark, but Roy said it was annoying. Okay, I can understand that. So I quit, and I was getting cold. I needed to cover up. I wore my campfire ruana to cover up because after the sun went down, it got a little chilly. So what am I doing with them? So Lynanne from Nina's Knots Crochet, there's no next in there. She last year had people send her granny squares. And she got so many. So she started divvying them out to some of us to help her. And she gave me ones with purple in them. And I had a bunch of this granny square, but not enough for a blanket. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to set these aside, and I will crochet coordinating granny squares to go with it. So I picked out originally, and I showed you, I think I showed, that I had picked out these 2 colors of Big Twist. This one is slime green, and I think this one's just called teal, but I can't remember, and I don't have the ball bands. I got 15 squares out of each of these. I have 21 of these. I need 64, so 30 and 21, not enough. So I just decided I would take another color and do 15, 15, and 15, and then I'll just throw these into the extra into another blanket. So, or maybe send them back to Lynanne to throw into some of her other blankets, but I don't have enough coordinating or extras, so I probably will send them back to Lynanne, and she can throw them in because she's looking for bright fun, and these are bright and fun, and I love them. So I did pick out a lavender, and this one is a loops and thread, and I didn't even look at the color name, but the color coordinates very well. So now I have these colors, and I'm going to do 64 squares, 60 of the solids, 45 of the solids, and then 19 of these. So all 4 corners will be this color, and then I'm going to figure out a design to put in. Are we going? Okay, yeah. I'm going to figure out a design somehow. I have to lay out a design with the 4 extra here, and then a total of 15 of each of those. And so I am working. So the loops and threads has less yardage in each, but I have 2 of those, but I only had 1 of the others, so I couldn't like do another, half a skein or whatever. I only had 1 of each of those colors, but I do have 2 of these, so I will have enough to make 15. And then I decided that I would join it with a dark, I have it here. I'm going to join with this color, which will pull out the dark blue. So I think that's going to be fun. And so I've been working on that, and I have this many done. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1/3 of the purple ones done, and then I can put the blanket together. So I'm excited about that. I have another set that's purple and then a variegated that was also sent that I set aside to do the same thing with. I have 1 color picked out to go with that. I thought that would be enough, but nope, I'm not going to get enough. I don't think. I don't remember the total count on the purple ones, the solid purples and with the variegated. But I have plenty of yarn, so that's fine. So last year, Lynanne asked for the she asked for the granny squares, and this year she's asking for granny squares again, but she wants fun, bright ones. She has like darker colors, and the kids gravitate towards the brighter, funner colors. So let's think about the audience when we're making and sending squares to her. She's asking for brighter, cheerful, happy designs, smiley faces, circles to squares. And so with that in mind, I brought this book over here. I found this book that I have that might be some inspiration if you, and I know that a lot of these squares you can find online, but this is the Humble Granny, 3D Granny Squares 100 crochet patterns. I am 99% sure I got this off of Amazon, but they have all kinds of fun things. A lot of them show you, you can see on the back here, oh, there's some on the front too. They just do a circle and then change it to the square. So here, look at the bear. And then you just overlay with some little ears and put a face on it. Really easy. Put a couple of those into some squares that you change the circle to a square. Over here, there's a lion. Oh, you can see the sun. So cute and not really hard. Here, look at the spider. Like, how cute is that? Just hand crochet, surface crochet some little legs on there. Adorable, right? The bunny, he got some eyes. Some ears. And then they have, like, where you make a whole flower in the center. And, but, and look at what they did with this. Just on a side note, they took that flower thing and they made fingerless gloves out of that. Who would think? I would have never thought. I would have never thought to do that in a million years. I wouldn't have thought to take 2 granny squares and do that. Look at this one. It's a coffee cup. That's the solid granny is made, and then they made the applique, made it as an applique. But a lot of these are mostly circle. You get the circle over the square, and then they just added to it. Crocheted a little V and made that a pine ice cream cone. So really easy patterns to designs to do, and I know you can see a lot of these already on YouTube tutorials. Look at that one. How easy is that to do? So even if you're not a real experienced crochet person, here, look at this candy. Even if you're not really experienced, I think you can do some real cute things like that. And I just pulled this out to show some ideas. Look, they got a cow on here. Where's the cow? See the cow? Really cool, right? I don't know how much the book was. I don't remember. And it might have even been a gift, but I think I purchased it myself a couple of years ago. And it's just, it gives you a lot of great inspiration. So purchase the book if you want to. And anyway, take inspiration from this and see what kind of granny squares you can come up with yourself. I know Anita, back to my test pattern lady, she is putting together a video of crochet patterns, probably a lot of free patterns and tutorials for fun granny squares to be able to put with the Boggy Creek blankets. Then I also found, when I was going through my stash, my book stash, this book. This is an Annie's crochet book. And the reason that I bring it on is because you can do, like, this is 4 separate corner to corner blankets, right? Squares, and then they sewed them together as one blanket. So I did this pattern for my, just because I had never done any type of Afghan like that. And I wanted to do one. I wanted to try it. I wanted to practice. And so I did this one a few years back. And if you did this, then you could do the modern granny around it. So you would, like, how fun would that be for a Boggy blanket, right? And I think Yarn Joy podcast has an owl Afghan. It's like sections. She has a spring. She used to do the Afghan, and she would change it in her background. I don't know if she still has it in there in her yarn room, but little Afghan. So you could do a little Afghan kind of thing, and then kind of do a modern granny. Juan the Yarn Addict was just putting a modern granny around it wasn't even a corner to corner, but he does have a corner to corner that he does put the modern granny around it and make the blanket the right size, because this wouldn't be big enough. But if you see or find a small Afghan that you wanted to make bigger, that would be a good way to do it. And I was real inspired by this book because there's other things, and I really want to do that one. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that one because that's a whole blanket. And I tend to get lost in the Afghans, which is why I did a small one, and I just left it. I didn't do anything else with it. I have made 2 Afghans. The little owl that I have hanging up in my husband's room, that will be my recovery room, where I film in there, where I do the lives in that room. Anyway, it's hanging up in there, and I should have brought it down, but I have to get a ladder to get to it, so I'm not doing that. But I want to try that. I know if I try this one, I won't get it done for this year because it's overwhelming me just looking at it, to be honest with you. And I think all of them are really cute for the kids. Now, one of these I might try and then do the modern granny around it. But I want to get these square blankets from, with the squares that Lynanne gave me. I want to get that done first. And Laura and Jan from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming and an Alaskan crafter, Jan, have come up with a challenge of the cat blanket. So here's the cat blanket. Isn't it cute? And it, I think, is the perfect size. So let's look at this for a second. It's calling for 4 medium weight yarn, and it says it's a 40 by 50 inch blanket. So it fits the parameters with a 4mm or with a 5.5 millimeter hook and 4 weight yarn. I picked out, but you can use any yarn and just probably add a border or whatever if it's not the right size. So I picked out this because I have a lot of it. Now this is ice cream yarn, and it is a 3-weight. And it's 100% acrylic. But I thought, you know, it's blues and green, pretty neutral. So I'm real happy. I like this. It is a self-striping. I don't know that it's exactly a variegating, but I would call it more self-striping. But I'm going to use it anyway. And this will be the variegated part. I have plenty of this for that. There are... let's find it. It's 10 ounces. It is 1,117 yards in this. The pattern calls for, I think Laura said 1,500 yards of the variegated with the yarn that they're, you know, suggesting that you use in the 4-weight. I know the 3-weight you need more, but I have another whole 6-pack, so I think I'll be good. I mean 3-pack. And then I'm going to use this pound of love in the gray. This color is called Oxford Gray. I'm going to use this as the solid contrasting color. You don't need as much. You need 1,000 yards. This is, and this is a 4-weight, and this is 1,020 yards. So I'm going to hold, I think, 2 together because these are 3-weights. But the pound of love tends to be a thin, I think a thin 4. So I'm really going to hold them together, compare the thickness of the 2 yarns before I make that decision. If I hold the 2 ice cream yarns together, it'll give it more of a variegated look because they won't be the same colors at the same time. I will make sure of that. I don't want them to run the same colors in the same time. And then use the gray as the offsetting color. And I will probably use a 6mm hook because I tend to crochet tight, I think. A 5mm, I don't know, maybe I'll use the 5mm. Maybe I'll do a gauge test because we're like close on the length. Because Boggy Creek blankets are 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long. So we'll see. If I do a single on the, if I don't run double, hold 2 together on the ice cream yarn, then I'll definitely use the 6mm hook because it'll have the leeway. Plus, like I said, I think this is way thinner than like Big Twist, you know. So anyway, they are starting this challenge. I think it starts August 1st and runs through September, mid-September. And this is a challenge, you know, for Boggy Creek Blankets. I don't know if there's prizes, to be honest. Check out their channels. They will be linked in the description box below. And there's another challenge. And they're going, Laura is going, no. There's another thing. Can't think of what it is. I had it right there, and now it's gone. So I guess I'll talk about that in another video because I don't remember what it is right now. We are with the Boggy Blankets. We are challenging podcasters to design blankets, come up and reveal their blankets on our live, and give a free tutorial and a free pattern in exchange for watch hours with the tutorial for our subscribers to make Boggy Creek blankets. A lot of my videos for the next near future are going to involve Boggy Creek, I have to say, because that is what we do. Oh, Billy the Crafty Floridian is also asking for specific blankets, specific squares. Hers are to be 6-inch squares and designed for specific holidays. Christmas, I think Thanksgiving, and Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, and Halloween. So with the Hooker versus Hooker challenge for August, it is make something Halloween. And I think I'm going to make squares for Billy. I don't know if that's like a really qualifying Hooker versus Hooker challenge thing. It just says make something for Halloween. So squares are something. Billy is, I think, asking for increments of 6. So something for Halloween could mean Halloween squares. And the colors meet the Halloween requirements that Billy is looking for. The Boggy Creek, the Hooker versus Hooker colors, black, white, orange, green, and purple, I believe, are the colors, 5 colors you have to use. And I'm already thinking, how about some of that spider? There's black and white right on the spider, and you could make the granny square below it in the purple, green, and orange, right? How cute would that be? Don't tell, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, and they have a pumpkin one over here too. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I love that idea. What do you guys think? So cute. And then I can send those to Billy. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to do that. Yep, there's the spider right there. I can do that. Look at him. He's adorable. There he is. Yep, definitely doing the spider. I'm going to do the pumpkin. Maybe I'll do 3 of each. Oh, that'll be so fun. Okay, there we go. So that's a 2-fer. Billy and that's a 3-fer. Billy, Boggy Creek, and Hooker versus Hooker. There we go. I'm in. So that is what I've been up to and what's going on that I'm aware of. If you are a podcaster and you're going to make a tutorial for Boggy Creek Blankets, thank you very much. If you're not a podcaster and you're just making, or even if you're a podcaster or not podcaster and you're making Boggy Creek Blankets, thank you very much. That's all I have for you today. I'm sorry that I didn't get videos over the weekend. I did want to make a camper crochet video, but forgetful me. I was going to make Roy hold it, but I figured make Roy hold my phone, but I figured it wouldn't be very steady and you guys would go crazy, so I'll just wait till today to make the video and just do one longer one. So again, that's it. That's all I have for you. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. Thanks to all my new subscribers for hanging in there and coming back. Thanks to all my old subscribers for coming back again and again and again. I appreciate you all so very much. Again, if you have questions and you want to make the rectangular cardie, email me. I will do my best to answer them. And that's it. Okay, see you next video.